Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. My name, for the 863rd time this year, is Mr. Evil Dragon, and welcome along to F1 2022. Well, we call it F1 22 because that's what it's actually called. I'm still getting used to it. Joining me is my favourite Scotsman. It's Liam. Say hello, Liam.
Hello. Hello everybody, and I was not aware I was your favourite Scotsman. This is a very sudden thing to spring on somebody. You can't just do this to people.
Well, it's happened now. How are you, my good friend?
I'm doing very well despite being cooked alive in this current weather.
Ah yes, the cooking of life. I mean, it's going to get warmer over the next couple of days, of course. So everyone, if you're at home, stay safe, etc. And you'll all be fine. Keep hydrated, have the drink, have ice creams, have, I don't know what, iron brew if you're from Scotland, because everyone from Scotland drinks it, apparently. What I've discovered now from my 4 Scottish friends, they all drink it. So that is an accurate representation of the entirety of Scotland for me as well. But, here we are, we're at One Hub. Welcome to F1 22. But, most importantly, we've got sponsors to go through, which I have got up nice and nice little document of a thing. And to our sponsors, Next Level Racing, sponsorly providing prizes, Pure Sim Gear, sponsorly providing a pair of the sim racing gloves to the driver, the most combined poles, and a fast lap to Gamergoo, sponsorly providing Gamergoo samples to trophy winners. To our partners Vespertine, partner of Vespertine, who support our championship prizes, and of course to the lovely people at ERT, partner of the great ERT Going Get Top Award, and of course their league trophies, and to the lovely SimGrid as well, who of course run all our community platforms through there. Don't forget you can sign up to this series as well. There will be links on the Twitter, which you can easily find as well. Of course, you can always at the One Hub Racing Twitter account for any information. But there's a little rambling over, and in a few moments' time, we are waiting for people to join, because currently we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which makes 10 plus 1, so 11. So still waiting for a few to join, which is always good, but we'll have some nice racing on hand, of course, for the sprint event, which is, of course, if you didn't know, a 2 25% races, of course, of which the first one is a one-shot qualifying. The second one is, from my understanding, a reverse grid race. Now, historically, this always ends extremely well for me, but I'm in the commentary box, it will end even better for me. Now, every time I've played this game in the last couple of days, it's had some issues. So, let's play the game called How Many Issues Can You Spot That My PlayStation's going to solve today? My answer's probably 7, but we'll see. And hopefully it doesn't crash. If it crashes, then we might have some issues. But let's hope that doesn't come, Liam.
Yeah, that is the main issue we're wanting to avoid, is any crashes. But this is quite a buggy game, I have to say. With my experience, I've encountered a few bugs myself. It's a little bit of a mess right now, considering it's not long out. But
yeah, we'll get fixed.
I've had a look around the Twitter and all that, and they've been focusing on feedback from the community on what they can improve on and stuff. So hopefully in the coming months, everything will be fine, and it will be calm, and everything will run properly.
The wise words of Liam there. As well. By the way, if you don't know, I'm also called Liam, so this could always get confusing, but I just get called Evil unless it's Jess, who always calls me Liam, because,
It's Jess.
It's Jess, and yes, it works that way. Or Indecisive. Everyone else calls me Evil, which is fine. I like both. Evil Liam, that works. So you can call me Evil Liam.
Yes.
It's
the evil one.
The evil one as well, which has used to be my old PSN name, actually, the original. So there's some little interesting fact bits for you right there. But hopefully we are getting the last couple of people in, and we should be starting. We're now up to a grand total of 12 plus 2. As we were just waiting for a few others like Jason, Quinn, and someone I can't pronounce to join, which is always a nice signal as well. But to everyone in the chat and everyone watching, what do you think of the game so far? I haven't had much experience of it because it does look like my PlayStation very much. It's good on PC, I'll give it that much. It works on PC sometimes. On my PlayStation, which is from 2014 to be fair, it doesn't like it very much.
I've not really had any issues with crashing. I've had a few freezes in offline mode. I've not really devilled much into the online side of the game yet. I've been mostly grinding out career mode in my team. So I've had a few freezes and that, and as well as getting used to the game, they're quite weird cars. They're very big, and they're very heavy, and they're very awkward. So it's going to be so much fun to get used to. But a big plus is there's not as much dirty air, so hopefully it means closer racing.
Yes, of course, dirty air, which to be fair to it, didn't exist on the 2021 game either, to be fair, compared to real life. So, in fact, I was speaking to a few people and they said it feels like they've got more dirty air on this game, which is interesting.
I think it might be a bit down to the weight of the cars, to be honest.
Yeah, it could be.
Because these are heavy boys. We've discovered this in real life, with teams frantically trying to reduce the weight of their cars. So it could be a representation of that, because apparently in the game files they're very heavy boys. These 2022 cars.
Some chunky Formula 1 cars here today. But
yes,
not long to go, I reckon. We have got 12. I think we should be starting in the next couple of minutes. So we will just be holding on and until then, 2 minutes until we shall be going. Even if it's 12, I can always have some fun with 12 people. It is known to the world that anything normally happens when I'm here, and it usually goes extremely well. So, I mean, get ready for this, because here is Saudi Arabia, a track which I have only commentated on once before. So, this is my second time ever commentating on this circuit. This track's been out for over a year now. So,
to be honest, I've not commentated on this track ever.
You're gonna have some fun.
I've raced it quite a lot. It's actually one of my favourite tracks in this game, actually. So, if that counts for anything, it's one of my favourite tracks. It's very fast and flowing, but it's also got some nice overtaking spots, I have to say. And it's a very slipstream, and it's a very well balanced circuit, I have to say. You could either go full straight line speed and suffer through the high speed corners, or you can go full downforce or suffer down the straights. So it's a nice, you need to find that nice balance here, so it's going to be an interesting one.
And don't forget as well, I mean, it is a one-shot qualifying format, so you've only got one shot to get it right. That's going to be the interesting here. And remember, Saudi Arabia, it's not like it was on the 2021 game. It has been slightly reprofiled. It's been changed ever since then, of course. Apart from, of course, the last corner, the middle sector, I think, is slightly different and tighter.
Yes, I've experienced that. I'd say that it's a lot tighter on that back straight, and they've also added the DRS zone on that back straight as well. Well, they call it a straight, but it's a couple of windy, flat-out corners that don't really count as corners, but yes, they're flat out, and it's now a DRS zone, and they've also reprofiled the curbs here as well. So, credit to Cody's and EA for improving, and we'll also be getting some more fun tracks coming up. We've got Miami coming up, I believe, at some point.
Yeah, we'll have Miami coming up at some point during the season. We've also got the likes of Monte Carlo on this season as well. In fact, in terms of the calendar, it is, of course, Saudi Arabia, then it is the lovely Australia Albert Park. Next week, it will be the double-header, and it is back here in Monaco, so that one's going to be a treat. And then, of course, it's Miami and Canada, and finishing off, it is Singapore and then Mexico City as well, which is your 4-week schedule coming ahead of all of our lovely drivers. So hopefully you're all going to be sitting nice and comfortably for that as well. Don't forget, the last week, I believe, is when pre-season is, so maybe the day before, so don't forget that one if you haven't signed up so far. That is the last thing I think it was. So yeah, I think it is still that currently, but it's all getting ready to go. And 20 seconds, right on cue, when I said ready to go, they readied up. I like when this happens. Timing,
yes.
Impeccable.
You've timed this absolutely perfectly. I don't think you could have if you tried. Although, who's to say you weren't trying, though?
Who knows? I mean, I'm pretty normal at inadvertent timing, but of course, with our 11 people, so we have just lost someone.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Who's gone? Who have we lost? I don't know who we've lost, but we lost someone from the lobby, but never mind. Then we've got 11 people, hopefully they can rejoin.
They shall return. They shall return at some point, or they shall face the consequences of the commentators.
I don't know who
evil
it was.
Commentators. We'll find out and we'll crucify them for it. It's a shame that my request was denied. I asked Nick very politely if the commentators could be very evil and decide the winner for these guys, but unfortunately my request was turned down, so we can't just bully the drivers on track.
Yeah, indeed. I'm trying to see who left. I can't actually completely say. I mean, I suppose if someone has, we can have a look on the stream later. It was Infamous who left, unfortunately. So I'm sad face emoji.
Very sad.
So yeah, that's a shame. But here and oh, there we go. Little editing glitch already. A little bit there. It's fine. I think it settled itself ever so slightly. So don't worry. There was a slight graphical glitch. Now, probably what I'm seeing, probably what you're seeing, because my TV's slightly broken. I got an LED TV 1 month ago, and it's broken itself already, and I can't replace it because it won't let me, because Amazon doesn't like me. So I've got a new TV coming tomorrow, so it should be fine. As well, actually, it's not a TV, it's a monitor, so it's going to make everything look nice and fine. And talking of that, here's cars, they're all very loud. I'll turn that down in a bit, but we'll go to the outboard cams right now, and let's see who is currently the quickest driver. It's so far Samba down to turn number 1 as you chuck it in. The order switching around. Lawrence up front, Samba in second, then comes Lakitu in third, Rich in fourth, then comes Kingan and Jonas as Lawrence then is the man on the mission. He chucks it down into these fast lefts and rights as Samba now back up the road as well. Let's keep on board with the lovely Ferrari then on the outboard camera as you come through here into the back end of this middle sector. And now, of course, to the very beautiful banked left hand. Blinking, you'll miss it because you come into some 160 miles an hour plus. On the exit, get as close to the wall as you dare. That's very nice indeed. And then, of course, you run all the way down the back towards the very quick chicanes that are coming up. There's one of them. Get up to the wall. Nicely done for the Ferrari. And then it's all the way DRS wide open. Spot the braking zone under the bridge in just a few seconds. Time right about there. Chuck it in on the left. And he just about kept that within track limit. So that's all nice and good. And then it's a nice long run with DRS all the way to the line then. And it just doesn't stop. You're still going. Yep, we're still going. We're still going. Now hit the brakes, chuck it in, last corner, get the front end turned in. You can run as wide as you can because the wall's wider than it is nowadays. And then take the shallowest line up to the finish line. And it is going to be a 129, 128.8 right there. And we are just waiting for the last cars as Matthias has hit the wall and Rydell has been disqualified. So, oh no, Geckers has been disqualified as well. So, 2 people have been naughty, so they've invalidated the lap times. That's the reason why. So, Rydell crosses the line, he will start last.
Yes, and now we will hopefully see one of the new exciting features on the formation lap of the manual formation lap placement, where everyone's going to have to line up their grid spot by themselves. So we'll see who gets to embarrass themselves on stream by missing their grid spot.
Indeed. Don't forget, I say hello to Dexter, by the way, in the chat, and Dexter can let me know if the audio all sounds nice. Now, on my screen, that looks like a boat's floating, because the water texture isn't that far back. I've just noticed that.
Same for me.
I'll ignore that, but of course it is Samba on pole, Lawrence in second, Rich in third, King ahead of Lakitu, Jonas ahead of Indecisive, Kaya in 8th position there, ahead of Matthias, Rydell, and Geckers down the back. So, 3 disqualifications, 8 non-disqualifications, many boats around the circuit, and all of our lovely viewers. Hello to all 16 of you lovely bunces down there as well. So, Saudi Arabia, Let's see what could possibly go wrong here. Second time I've commented. The last time I commented on this race, actually, that's a lot. I've commented twice before, actually. So I did it on a team event there, as you can see again, ever so slightly of the textures spawning in and doing some weird little Houdini things in the background.
Yes, many light glitches. Another broken thing about the game.
Yes. Now
so how many is that we're on now?
I think it's
how
4.
many are we on now?
4, I think. I think we're going to beat 7. Light glitches are something I like a lot. If you remember on F1 2021, it happened to be very spectacularly around Spa. It didn't go dark though, it went very, very light. It was interesting. Cam will know it. I think Indecisive was there. Jess was there as well. So those guys know exactly what I'm on about. It was beautiful, but also it was like as I say, I have the sun in the palm of my hand, to put it lightly. Unfortunately, I was blinded, and I've never been able to see since. Maybe that's why the game goes the opposite colour now. Who knows? Right there. But we have got enough blabbling for me to talk about for today. We've got a nice pit lane, which is sitting in front of us. And in 10 seconds' time, we have cars to go on the grid for the formation that which is manual. Like Liam mentioned, you have to go around the grid and have to put himself in your grid slots. And if you don't, you get disqualified from the formation app. So don't mistake it.
I don't believe you get disqualified. You just get reset and get a very bad start.
Yes, and now, excuse me, I'm just going to quickly go in to my audio settings, and I'm just going to
turn the volume down.
Turn other cars down to 8. So hopefully, in theory, if I now go on board with someone, I can hear things.
You won't be deafened.
I can. Excellent. Progress has been made. I mean, it's still loud, but that's as low as I can make it.
It's a very loud game.
It is a very loud game indeed. But hopefully that is all good on the onboard. So that is all that we want to see. But Samba in first, Lawrence in second. It's a Ferrari versus Mercedes. Then comes the McLaren Mercedes. Then comes the Williams Mercedes, followed by the Alfa Romeo Ferrari, followed by the Williams Mercedes, then the Alpine Renault, I guess, or was it Alpine?
That's just Alpine these days. I don't think they really mention that they have a Renault power unit.
The Alpine.
It's a very hush-hush thing, I think.
And yes, then it's the Red Bull Honda, not Red Bull. Well, Red Bull Honda, not Honda.
The Red Bull Powertrain, Red Bull Racing.
Yes, and then of course it's the other Alpine. Then it's the Aston Martin, which is beautiful.
The green Red Bull.
Yes, the green Red Bull Mercedes. Then here is the white Ferrari as well. I mean, we've got 2 white Ferrari, to be fair. They both got red on them, to be fair. I mean, so does the Ferrari have red on it, to be honest, as well.
Yes.
We've got the white and red Ferrari. We've got the white and slightly more red Ferrari. And then we've got the red Ferrari, which isn't actually properly red. So, there we go.
Shh. We don't tell anybody that. Yes. Here we go, they're about to line up. Let's see who misses their grid spot.
Yes, this is the entertaining bit. Who gets their grid slot correct and who is not going to make the grid slot correct? Of course, it's soft to medium, lap 5 to 8, and then you slide it onto the right-hand side of the grid. And any second now, you put it in. He's just ready and waiting, and that looks pretty good.
Perfect.
Has anyone got reset? Oh, hello.
Oh,
there's an Alpine in the wall there. Oh, Lawrence has been disqualified. Lawrence has perfect timing. Was that Matthias? No, it wasn't Matthias. Was that Indecisive who decided to have some fun?
Kaya this time.
And Indecisive's got as well. He's in the wrong grid slot.
Yes, it was Indecisive.
It is in the right grid slot. Here we go then. 5 red lights then. Here today, and we will be lights out. Away we go. The cameraman is not going to let me see the front of the grid. There we go. Thank you very much. Into turn number 1. It's the Ferrari leads the Mercedes. Then comes the Williams. Behind them there, the Alfa Romeo getting up a few positions. The McLaren dropping 1 or 2 of them as well. In the background, we've got a car. That is a McLaren, I believe, without no front wing. So someone's lost their front wing right there. And yellow flags flying is the McLaren then who's lost their front wing. They're going slow, so the car comes through up the inside as the Aston Martin comes a few positions. Geckers as well. And you got the Alpine of Indecisive so far up into 5th position. Might not be 5th in a second. They go 2 by 2 then. Almost making it 2, becomes 3 then as they come into the braking zone. Indecisive down 2 more positions. The Aston Martin then trying to get past the Haas. They come through the long left, and now we come into this tricky section here, Liam. and it's going to be tricky to see if anyone manages to try and make a move through these couple of corners as an Alpine goes wide.
Yes, this is the very interesting, but this is the very fun, but also very tricky part of the track. It's all flat out, it's also a DRS zone come lap 3. And you've also got this very tricky, fast left-hander, and it's into another mile-long straight. So yes, it is a very, 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 very long straight, because we're still going, and just now people have discovered the final corner.
Yeah,
so, yes, but a lot of people, it seems you've got an even split almost between medium and soft runners. So, fun has just begun. A Ferrari running off into the distance.
See that somewhere.
Sad times. And we've got a Williams struggling here of Kingen. He's currently trying to hold Liquidu off as much as possible.
Indecisive. Sorry to cut over you there, Liam. Going side by side into turn 1 and 2, and they're still going out there side by side. Indecisive on the outside line, and Jonas thinks better of sticking one up the inside there on this lap so far, because that's always normally ends quite well. To be fair, though, I've done that, and I mean I did flip, so it does work.
Liquidu exploring track limits for a minute there.
Yeah, they're going to be doing that, aren't they?
Sector 1, yes. But
oh, Kingen! As
he's kept his front wing, I believe. Yep.
Yeah.
He flicks it back round, but Liquidu is now under pressure from the Haas. So here we go. He's using the ERS, the Haas. I don't think Liquidu is putting up much of defence for now, because there is another massive straight to come. But here comes the Aston Martin. He's having a look now. Oh, he's having to almost push Liquidu through that left-hander. And the Haas almost got it all wrong through the left-hander there. It was a little bit squeamish on the exit, but nothing to worry about as the Aston Martin is still tucked in behind. But yes, these guys seem very, very determined to just stick to their positions no matter what. But here comes the Aston Martin. He's got the run into turn 1, one of the main overtaking spots on this circuit. He's not quite gone for the full one, he's going to try and switch it back. Slightly better exit, but he's going to have to sit behind for the remainder of this first sector now, through all of these flowing high-speed corners, and suffer from the understeer and dirty air.
Yeah, indeed, he gets a bit close there. King had a 5-second time penalty there. It's hitting the wall. Is Liquidu ever so slightly like Glods on the wall. And here we come then. Here comes the Aston Martin. Is the Alpha going to go left? He's not. Leaves the door open. Thank you very much. He says, I'm going for 4th. And he is then in 4th, or is he? Is he in 4th? Yes. Yes, he is in 4th. He decides to pick up a penalty.
I think, sorry to interrupt, but I think Liquidu is playing this quite smart, because he has realised there is a DRS zone coming up.
Kingen? Off at turn 1? He is off at turn 1. Now, what's happened to Kingen? He's just come out of the pit lane.
I think he had front wing damage.
Yeah, he had front wing damage, and he's got more front wing damage. So something has gone wrong with Liquidu, not Liquidu, of Kingen. He was near red, so I don't believe they came together, though they were close on circuit.
We've got a start of a DRS train forming behind Lawrence, as the Haas is now hunting down that Mercedes. So we could have a move on into turn 1. So Lawrence is going to be on the defensive. He's going to put up much of a fight. No, he moves to the right hand side, and he's just going to let the Haas through, because there's not much he could do there. And now he's got to try and either find his way back past, or he could pit now and go for a sneaky undercut on that Haas and get clean air.
Remember, though, as well, it's the cold tyres, isn't it, Liam? The tyres, when you come out of the pit, they are stone cold. Remember, they do not have tyre warmers. So they don't come out nice and warm and toasty like they would normally do. They are basically taking out the freezer, and then you have to put them on and go, right, off you go, chaps. And no nice things for you.
Yes, that is a very big thing on this year's game, is when you come out of the pits, your tyres are going to be stone cold. So you've got to work on heating up your tyres, as well as try not to lose as much time as possible to the cars ahead. So it's going to be interesting in the cold tyres dynamic. So if you go for the undercut, it could work to your advantage, because then you have warmer tyres compared to the guy coming out of the pits. So let's see how it works. But I don't think it's going to matter as Lawrence picks up his penalty for, I think it was track extending, but he was already losing the position.
Or is he?
Aston Martin, nope, he's gone. I think he's thought better of it here. He's going to let the Aston Martin and the Haas cars hunt each other down.
You should come in the pits, I reckon, right about now.
Yeah.
And let's see, does he hear by my warning? No.
No,
he's going to stay out, I think, another lap. He's coming back low. I'd be surprised to see him take a lunge. He tries he thinks about it. Almost does, to be fair. And that would have taken his front wing off. Lakitu not
that
too
would have been
far.
would have been a very bold move, I have to say. But thankfully he's thought better of it.
The field, we'll have a look through. We've got Matthias in 6th, Jonas ahead of Indecisive, Kaya ahead of Rich, and then Mr. Kengan, who is unfortunately not the king so far because he's down in last position. Talking of king so far, it's the Ferrari, who is running rampant so far. We are on lap number 5. And he has got a 6-second lead on those soft compound tyres. In terms of the tyres, by the way, we'll have a quick check, see who is currently on what, wherever it is. And it's first on the softs. It is, of course, second and third on the mediums. Don't mean
to interrupt you here, but Lakitu is lining up Lawrence here down the back straight of the first major DRS zone. But I think he is going to bide his time, as that Mercedes of Lawrence is really struggling through some of these high-speed corners. I saw him struggle quite a lot through that first sector, and Lakitu is just gaining heaps of time. So here he goes, he is lining him up. I'm going to go on the spectator camera. Oh, and he's just sitting on the gearbox of that Mercedes. He's determined to make the move as late as possible, but I think Lawrence, yep, he's took our warning and he's following Samba into the pit. Now, will he time his pit stop correctly? That is the main thing. Yeah, there's another new feature of timing pit stops correctly, timing your turning right. It's a very nice stop. Very nice stop from the Mercedes lads.
Well, out comes the Ferrari, and he's going to come out right behind Jonas, and now he's got to get these cold medium tyres up to temperature, which, by the looks of someone up the road or down the road, I think that's Kaya, hasn't gone well. Indecisive and coming out, as in Matthias coming out the pit, then Lawrence in 6th. Samba in 5th. He's got Jonas just up the road over there, who hopefully will clear his Lawrence. Speaking of issues, he has now got a problem. There is a big problem. A 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, and that would have been in turn 4. I mean, this track's got 20,000 corners, so it's, I don't really know. It's 23 the last time I checked. It might have gone up, it might have gone down.
I've given up counting the amount of corners at this track. There's just too many. But it doesn't seem like Samba's struggling too much with the cold power at the moment. He is gaining on Jonas, so that's going to be... I think Jonas will just let him go shortly. But surely by this point in the lap, those tyres will be basically up to temperature and he won't have anything to worry about. You've got almost a 12-second gap behind, and here he goes. Jonas isn't even going to bother to fight it. He knows he's not got a chance of keeping up with that Ferrari at this point. And that should be Samba for the remainder of this race, probably.
Yeah, it potentially is. Meanwhile, we have
a battle up at the front.
That is Geckers and Ryder. That was Kengan getting out of the way. That's what the yellow flag is for. Then behind him, Lakitu not too far back. He's right on board with the Aston Martin, then chasing down the lovely Haas. And they both just hit the wall. They're literally staring at each other so much intently. They've both crashed into the wall at the same time. That probably wouldn't have done much damage to these cars. Remember, by the way, if you get damage on these cars, as we saw in real life in Silverstone, it doesn't do anything because you can break the entire front wing off nearly, and apparently it just doesn't affect the car.
I believe it's because they're mostly ground effect cars, so which is very, very complicated physics, which we don't bother trying to get into because it's too complicated for our brains.
Think of aeroplane but stuck to ground instead of stuck to... Well,
because the Haas has almost binned it. Here we go.
Lawrence, Jonas, sorry, binned it as well, so issues.
Here we go. We have a change in the leader. The Aston Martin is round the outside of the Haas into the final corner. So the Haas has got a little bit squeamish on that left-hander at the end of the middle sector. And he's almost binned it over the curb. And he's in. He's going for the undercut. So he's taken our advice, it seems. He's been smart about it. He's listened to the commentators.
Meanwhile,
Q2 is in as well.
Jonas a minute ago just dropped it, as you mentioned. Thomas squiggling. I cut to Jonas, and he was in the wall. So many issues right there, and a big problem for Jonas. He was running in a solid position. He has got 6-lap-old medium tyres, so I expect he should be in the pit. No, he's not. He stays out, so Gekka's in as well as Lakitu. Both come out in cleaner. A bit close to the wall on the exit for Lakitu.
Lakitu and Haas have both jumped Lawrence, so he's going to have an advantage for now of having warm tyres, but it's quickly going to fade, I think, and it's going to be an interesting battle.
I don't know if Lawrence has some damage we can't see potentially. That's always a possibility, as Lakitu was taken
from excessively running. You could potentially have floor damage from excessively running over the curbs all the time. That is one thing we didn't take into account, is the floors are extremely sensitive on these cars.
Yeah, they certainly are. Gekka's, meanwhile, he's got to find a 9-second gap then to Samuel Rydell lead this race, but is still yet to make his one and only mandatory stop this afternoon. But Samba, he's looking all nice and candy right now for making it a Ferrari 1-2-3 inadvertently, because we've got the 3 Ferrari powered cars and the top 3, not counting the Aston Martin, which is just pitted ironically right then. So nice to see when that happens. We're curious to see where Rydell comes back out on all this. I think he might come out, but round where Lawrence potentially is. So it's
here we go. He's exiting the pits now, and I can see the Haas just going past. So I think he exits just in front of him, but these cold tyres could possibly do him in here. So we'll see.
Just came out of nowhere, there, didn't he?
Gap. Yeah. That clean air must have done him some good there, but here we go, look at this. Look at how much he's gained on him for like 3 or 4 corners. Almost right on his gearbox already. That is what cold tyres does to you on this game. It's a cruel, cruel fate to suffer having cold tyres in this game.
Yeah, fastest first sector for Gekkas, so he's pushing on hard then as they get close to the wall, and this is such an awesome corner when you get so close to the wall. Inches away from disaster as you come through here, then into the right, into the left, and then it is all down the straight. DRS is activated. Burns some of the DRS, but then comes back off it right now. He's not quite close enough. He just wants to get himself closer using the DRS here. Up the road there, you can see Rydell has got 70% compared to the 50%. Remember, ERS quite crucial, big squiggly on the curb yet again. Now he will start burning a little bit of his ERS to see. Can he get closer? He's closing, but still not quite close enough. It might be an opportunity, though. Down into turn number 1. Always good, then, if you can try and get him offline. Then through the last corner. Use the ERS. Use your DRS. They'll both be using it right now as they come down the straight. A little bit ERS used. They've both now got even. Stevens, but still, with DRS, cannot close enough, then. Still hasn't got enough pace there. 2 laps versus 1 lap, so it's least to get a battle. Gekka's fastest lap of this motor race so far. We are on lap 10 of 13 with, what, 4 laps to go. Here is Gekka's just looking, just waiting to pounce then. But now Rydell's got his tyres up in temperature. Now Rydell can start to push, but Rydell's gone a little bit wide.
And
I say
so
that.
Is the Haas. They're both very experimental with the track limits usage. But I have to say, I've watched this Haas car for the past few laps, and he's really struggling on the exit of that left-hander at the end of the first sector. No, I mean, not the first sector, the second sector. He's very much struggling on the curbs there to put the power down without his back end squiggling all over the place.
Look at these guys.
I think that's what possibly could do him. That's what possibly could cause his downfall. This race is, here we go. He's nice and smooth over them this time, no issues. We burn that ERS and catch that Aston Martin. Nope.
Yeah, they're going to save it then for that longer. He's trying to see if he can get the guy ahead to use more of his ERS just to run out. Because remember, ERS is the more important thing on this game. It's so crucial because it runs out like that.
I know, it's very sensitive, your ERS button. Don't burn it. unless you can save it, basically.
Yellow flags. Lawrence in the wall.
Lawrence, yes, he's discovered the wall.
He's dropped it out the last corner then, so that's a weird place to drop it. So he looks like he's had a tank slapper up the last corner. Got the traction on, the rear end's gone. No, you don't. Rydell has picked up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, and that's all going to be tasty then. Up the road, that will be, I believe, Kingan, who is just in between these two drivers, unfortunately not having the afternoon to remember so far for him, which is a real shame for the lovely man of Mr. Kingan. He's actually tapped the wall slightly again, so it's pretty difficult here on this first race so far. Don't forget we've got Australia next up, which is also a very high-speed circuit now with tyres. A 3-second time penalty, but Geckers, he doesn't have to push too heavily now if he doesn't want to, just kind of stick with him a little bit.
Kaya. It is a Red Bull, yes.
And he's gone off deep, and as he got damaged, so I think he's just getting out the way.
So he's just letting everyone through. He's being a good Samaritan and allowing them. Oh, here we go! Aston Martin has battling at the final corner. So something's happened that I have not seen. I don't know if you caught it, and I've just seen sparks everywhere, so I'm not sure what's happened there.
DRS back again though. Let's see right versus left. Let's see long way round. Can he do it then? To the outside line. Let's see late braking from the Haas. Late braking from the Aston Martin. They go side by side. The Aston Martin's forced off the road there. And now he has to come back on. The Haas comes back through. They're still going at it then here on that 12 of 13. But the Aston Martin there going off the road in pursuit there of the Haas. The Haas gets past. He's used more ERS, and now we'll see potentially the old slingshot if he can keep with him. If he can get within that 10th of a second. Let's see. Which way is he going to go? No DRS here, remember. It used to be DRS. It's no longer. Thinks about a move up the inside, but isn't going to quite do it right there. So now it's all just sit back and relax for a couple of seconds, and then it's all going to kick off again then to come through the quick right into the slightly slower but still very fast left at 130 miles an hour, which is very fast. And now with DRS, now let's see, are they going to use ERS? We're going to see a swapper this time around to the left-hand side of the circuit, and they get awfully close then. Down on the brakes, and they're going to go almost side by side through the corner. And the Haas is going to be told, no, go off the road, and I think will not get an added dose of DRS either. In fact, neither.
He's got DRS.
Have they? I don't think he has.
Yes, the Haas has. I thought he did on my screen anyway.
He doesn't. Neither of them got DRS. That's interesting, but
I did. But
interesting.
The Haas seems to be hitting the floor quite a bit through that last corner. I'm seeing sparks flying from it every time it goes through that last corner. Here we go, last lap of the race. He's going to be the patient one this time. He's going to save it until that very last DRS, I imagine.
Yeah, it's always going to be a possibility.
The smart thing to do is wait until the last straight, although he might even be in DRS at this rate. As he's messing up a few of these corners, he's going to have to hold.
Though, as long as he doesn't get a penalty.
I imagine you will want to get it done on track. Here we go, he's burning the ERS a bit. He's still about 9/10 back, and he's understeering wide here, so that could kill his chances.
Oh, and off goes Rydell! He's dropped it! My goodness!
Not expecting that. Here comes Lakita. Here we go for the for the impromptu Ferrari 1-2-3.
And he's off the road, he's bottled it! Absolutely, it's all gone wrong for Rydell. He was in second on the last lap. Now he's in fourth position. He still has a potential to come through. Meanwhile, your race lead, Samba, he's taken the Samba, and he's very much run away with the Samba. He'll come across the line to take the victory then here in Saudi Arabia. Here's the first winner.
Battle. Here we go. He's going around the outside of Lakita. Lakita's not putting up much of a fight here. He knows he's got a penalty. Will he go for it on the run down the line? He's got more ERS. Here we go, burning ERS, DRS open. It's not going to be enough, but you will get him on penalties. So here we go, you're impromptu Ferrari 1-2-3 in the first race.
Meanwhile, I think Matthias has run out of fuel. It doesn't sound healthy.
Yes, he has.
I think he'll get to the line before them, but no, I don't think he has run out of fuel. It just sounds a bit unhealthy.
I think he's running very low, close to the limit on fuel.
Jonas
Here
in
comes
6th.
Jonas in 6th.
Lawrence is going to be a
here
disappointed
comes
7th,
Lawrence.
isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be very disappointed with that, but he's probably hoping he can turn things around in a revamped Australia. So it's going to be the first time we've ever commentated on this new Australia.
Oh, indecisive's in the wall. Indecisive! Well, track's not that way, buddy. Yeah, left hand down. There we go.
Turn right.
Yes.
That's it. Now
Bit more
follow
right.
the track and just stay and follow the track until you get to the finish line. You'll be alright.
Yeah, be alright. We love our indecisive, even though he's not got front wing anymore. But we do love our indecisive. He's such a lovely chap.
Yes, he's
in
a very nice
and
guy.
out of the cockpit. He's a brilliant commentator as well. As he comes up to the line, are we going to see some nice indecisive, celebratory line crossing? No. So there he is then. Our top 3. Oh, Ferrari power cars. Another one I mentioned earlier. We're going to get a Ferrari 1, 2, 3. It happened.
Correct.
The prophecy. Now, the other question is, lighting glitch. Will it happen? I hope not. If
Drum
it
roll,
does,
please, audience.
you'll
Please,
see
drum roll.
exactly what I'm talking about. It's all just... I mean, hopefully... There we go. We're in. Now, game.
Nothing's broken yet.
It's all good. Oh, it's not. It's good. That's the first time I've seen the podium and it's not broken. This is incredible news. I'm happy. There we go. The Ferrari, which is all correct. Then on the tops of the podium, the Ferrari mechanics all looking nice and handy. And now it's the Rosewater, I guess, here today.
Yeah.
I don't think. Well, they don't even have champagne normally. I don't think on the podium anymore.
I don't know anymore, but
It's
I believe
something.
it was the Arab countries that didn't allow champagne on the podium in the first place. So there's always Rosewater.
Yes, which
Hence why Mr. Kimi Räikkönen was hardly ever on the podium in Arab countries. He didn't get his champagne.
Indeed, I'm talking of drinks. Don't forget, by the way, if you are in the UK, please drink water or juice. Or if you're in Scotland, drink. Other brands are available.
Other brands are available, but please drink Iron Brew.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna get shouted out by Nick. Stop talking about Iron Brew, aren't we?
It won't be Nick, it'll be Jess. Jess will be queuing up to crucify us.
Oh no. Anyway,
if you're watching, Jess, please don't kill us. We'll behave. We promise.
we good boys.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we'll have a reverse, correct? We will be at the lovely Australia, of course. First time we'll be racing at the Albert Park circuit then in a league race. The first time I'm going to be commentating on this new Albert Park. In fact, I can't remember the last time I commentated on an Albert Park either, actually. So, always a new for newness then. And we will be having some new people.
It was always a very fun track, Albert Park, and they've just made it even more chaotic.
Yeah, it's always going to be fun, isn't it?
It's always going to be fun, but now you've made it flat out through basically the entire middle sector.
Which is always going to end well.
Yes.
No,
I'm surprised that wasn't made into a DRS straight, to be honest, going into that chicane.
Is it? No, it's not, is it? Is it? I thought it
don't
was.
know, it might be.
I think it is a DRS zone. No, it's not a DRS zone. No, my bad.
No.
It was going to be, I think. I think it was going to be 4 DRS zones, but they took it out.
I think it was the DRS zone last year when...
I don't know, I can't remember.
I think it was DRS zone last year for 2021 when it was supposed to be anyway. When when it wasn't completely flat out through the middle sector. Before they reprofiled everything, but I think they've tightened the first corner as well a bit. I'm not sure, but they've definitely widened quite a few corners. Yes, they've widened quite a few corners. They've tightened the right-hander after the chicane, so that's an even better overtaking opportunity now. So it's a very heavy braking zone.
And hopefully, I've just realised, hopefully Twitch cuts out the music. It'd be awkward if they haven't. Dex saying, where is the floating heads on the podium? They fixed that.
We don't know.
Oh, I need that back. Oh god, the floating heads. Maybe my game's fixed itself. I've said it now, but
yes, you've said it now. You've just cursed yourself. This is going to crash like in the middle of the race. We just know it.
Well, hopefully, in just a few moments' time, we should be getting the reverse grid set up then. From, of course, race 1, so it will be lots of people in different orders as well. So we know certainly that it's going to be Samba starting last. I think it should be.
I believe it was
the person beginning with F, which I can't pronounce. Fatality. Fatality? A fatality.
Yes.
I'll just call them fatality.
Yeah, we'll just say fatality. That's
the fatality will be starting last.
It's a shame they weren't in the last race, otherwise they could have had pole. I believe it was. Yes, it was Kingen. I don't even know who was
Kingen
last.
will be starting first, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was Kaya.
No, Kaya will not be starting last. Kaya actually did a reasonably good job, I think. I
thought it was based off qualifying, not the race results.
I think it's the race results.
I don't know. It's one of them. We'll figure it out eventually.
Yes, we'll figure it out as we go here today, and I think in just a few minutes' time, at least by 4:45, we will be going yet again. Then here now in the lovely Albert Park circuit. First hosted a race, by the way, in 1996. This Albert Park circuit, by the way. The Australian Grand Prix first hosted a race in 1986. Of course, that at the my more personal favourite, that was at Adelaide, which is a beautiful circuit, by the way. I was racing on it.
I've never had the opportunity to commentate or really drive around Adelaide in any games, so I've no idea what the circuit's like.
It's a very much a street circuit.
It's a very controversial place for a certain Damon Hill.
Yes.
And a certain Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, of course, 1994, when they came together as well. Of course, other big moments in virtually the second shortest race in Formula 1 history at the 1991 Australian Grand Prix. And of course, Mika Häkkinen's near-fatal crash, unfortunately, in 1995, which he took a long time to recover, but of course did so in time of 96, and of course then became the great two-time world champion, which you've known since. So, of course, Adelaide, infamous in that one. Albert Park, of course, it's seen its fair share of ups and downs, of course. Many big accidents. We think of 2001, we think of 96 of Martin Brundle. A couple of accidents in 2001, of course, as well. And unfortunately, the tragedy, I think it was in 2001 or 2002, where a marshal lost their life. And some other lovely, lovely things around here is, of course, this new circuit. Of course, went away for a few years, and since was last race 2019, 2020. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh, hello. Hello.
Are we going to behave ourselves, game?
Game. Don't do it. Good game. I saw that.
Yes.
Did that happen
we
for
saw
you as well?
Yep, it happened to me. Don't worry, I saw it.
We're in sync today. The lighting is like having a disco. Maybe it just wants us. Maybe it wants to be nighttime. Is there a nighttime option in Australia? I'm sure brilliant.
I don't think there's ever been a night race in Australia. That would be an interesting one.
Needed.
A night race at Albert Park.
Floodlight. We'd actually be able to watch it at a reasonable time.
You wouldn't be blinded by the sun.
Yeah,
it was at night.
Nighttime. So Kaya on pole position.
Kaya on pole.
From Kengan indecisive. Then comes Lawrence, Rick, Jonas, Matthias, Rydell, Akitu, Geckers, Samba, and Fatality at the back of the grid. He's running almost a Lewis Hamilton-esque helmet, to be fair, actually, with the slight limey yellowy green.
Ooh. Let's have a look at some of the helmets on show today.
Dexter saying drivers without helmet. Yeah, I like that. That used to be my favourite thing on 2021. The Mark Webber strategy.
I believe it happens on this game as well.
Excellent.
Sometime.
I just want them to have no head.
A driver in the cockpit with no head.
Yeah, I've seen that somewhere, but no.
This game is a weird and wonderful thing.
Yes, it's a weird and wonderful dilemma of ups and downs, but Kaya and Kengan, the double K then at the front of the grid. It's the KKI then up front with Indecisive in third. It's Lawrence in fourth. It's the LRJ, then Lawrence, Rich and Jonas. Then it's the FRL. It's the Matthias, Rydal, Akita, and that's the EEF. The ERT Geckers, the ERT Samba, and the Fatality at the back of the grid.
Yes.
I don't. Is it Fatality? I don't have a clue.
I don't know.
I'm just going to call him Fatality. That's his name now. He can correct me some point. As you
can correct us in the chat on how to say it properly. Otherwise, we're just going to keep calling him that because it's too complicated for us.
Yeah, it's the name I've called him, and it's the name that he will be now. I mean, I got told it's Chalkers instead of Geckers, but I keep calling him Geckers.
Yes.
So like
Kai's been disqualified.
Oh no! Oh, Indecisive.
And Indecisive as well.
How many? I'm going to guess 4. There's
Here
2.
we go.
Oh.
Oh, drum roll.
Only 2.
Everyone seems to behave themselves.
Yep, only 2 have
Learned a
gone.
lesson. Oh, no. Maybe. No. Yep, there's one more.
So, to the grid then, and the 5 red lights again here in Australia. The camera doesn't like me, but 5 red lights, and we are lights out, and away we go then from the grid. And who's got a good start? It is, of course, Kai getting a good start then from Kingan in second, Rich in third. They come into turn number 1. Very good start from Kai, to be fair. He's actually got a couple of car lengths ahead. Then yellow flag in the background as Jonas goes off the road. But up front, it's Kai up into the braking zone, into 3. And 4 as they sort him through. Samba all the way up from last to 4th. Incredible manoeuvres so far. From second last to 4th. On the opening lap then here in Albert Park. And that there has got to be the start of his afternoon then. As a bit of grass getting kicked up in the background. I'm wondering if someone just slightly touched. They're almost free abreast. Oh, contact there is the Alfa Romeo, the Williams, and Lawrence. They're coming across.
Samba is up to 3rd. I repeat, Samba is now in 3rd.
It is
Man is unstoppable.
He's
here we go. We could have a move on here. We could have another move. He's willing to make a dive. Is he brave enough? Not quite. Whoa! Kingan almost plowing into the back of Kaya there.
And Samba through.
Slips on by.
Samba now in
Kaya
1 lap.
in their mirrors.
Second to last to second. 11th to second. In comes Kaya. In comes Kaya into the pit lane. What's happened to Kaya? He has an issue. And Samba leads. We've got a Kaya off. That's Kingan off. Kingan off as well then on the opening lap here in Albert Park. Kingan has issues. Kaya in the pit lane. Samba leads from last on the grid. Incredible!
It just seems to be typical of your average pit stop from Kaya. Or maybe they're trying.
On the inside goes Rydell on Lawrence, and that's going to be close on the inside. They're going to be side by side. Careful on the curb, careful to get yourself with 2 squigglies. They go side by side into the right. And they can't quite do it. Then here up the inside comes Geckers then. And he says, thank you very much, Sunshine. I'll take that position back from you. And these two, feuding as they are. And absolutely incredible yellow flags for Kingan. He's having more issues then. He's got the car stuck front ring corner again. Kaya coming up on them as well. These two are leading at the last lap. And now at the back of the grid on the next lap. But Samba, 2.5 seconds gap here as you can see the McLaren. At the inside goes Rydell. He's going to try and make it 3 abreast on the braking zone. Can't quite do it. The McLaren has the outside line. The Aston Martin trying to get the middle. The Alfa Romeo holding the line then. 3 might become 4 then. As here now comes Geckers then. He'll get 1 round the outside line. Beautifully done then on the brakes. Gets it stopped then. Now the outside line for the Mercedes. Can't quite do it enough. Spins Geckers into the wall. And that's the last thing he needed. And now he's in the middle. Both the other 2 cars of Indecisive and Jonas skip past him on the merry way. The 2 Mercedes now left to squabble. But Geckers is Geck on.
Lawrence is up the inside. No, I thought he was up the inside the Rich there, but he is holding up Fatality here. I say let the car on the softs go. I think Toto needs to get on the radio and tell them to get out of each other's way.
Yeah, let's see what they do then.
Samba has run off into the distance as
0.5 seconds.
Lakitu is on the defensive again. Here we go. More fighting between these two.
Great
The outside line. He's got it done. He's got it done. What a move. What brave individual you are. Can we give overtake of the week to him?
They might be. We'll see what happens then. The two Mercedes, meanwhile, going at it all. They always here. They have it. The two Mercedes have come together, and they're going to come more together. And they spun. The two Mercedes comes to blows here in Australia, and it's all gone wrong. Toto smashed his desk. It's all gone wrong. He's walking up to the pit wall, and he's livid.
I was about to say, hopefully they'll have enough desks to survive this race weekend. As he's round again, fatality. Lawrence is not going to be very popular in that Mercedes garage as he's now under pressure from Matthias.
Yeah, see what Matthias can do. Will be the next one up then, and Fatality is really struggling to get that car going in a straight line. He's got all sorts of issues. Geckers is coming for a new nose, which of course is completely good because he did, of course, drop it not too long ago. But the Mercedes coming together then here in Albert Park. What drama there. The two of them, too close. They banged once, they banged twice. Third time the lucky charm, and now Fatality off the game, and he's got real issues.
Yes, he's struggling to cool his tires. He's got the coolest tires.
Off goes Rydell! Off goes Rydell, and that was a huge moment! And how has he kept it? Has he kept it up the wall? I think he has. Over the curbs he went, launched it in the air, a couple of meters up, gets it back down, gets it back going, as again Fatality has had an accident. Samba, meanwhile, he's just having a peaceful day. Are we going to see Rydell in the pit lane, I'm wondering? No, we're not, so he hasn't got damage. He's a very lucky pup.
Matthias is not really burning any ERS. He's got 98% on the battery. So he's ultra saving at the moment on his ERS. And he's just staying with Lawrence. Lawrence can't escape him. As Lawrence is still trying to hunt down Rich in that McLaren, who's in turn trying to hunt down Rydell in his Aston Martin. But yes, Lawrence is very much gaining on that McLaren as it appears to Fatality has spun again.
I think that might be King and yellow flags potentially. It's a bit difficult. Actually, we've got another car. That's Cairo Jonas has gone off. I'm seeing on the mini map, so it looks like Jonas had an issue.
I don't know, it's one of the two. No, as Fatality is into the pits, I think he's ruined his tyres. And the constant spinning.
Matthias?
Matthias is closer to Lawrence and Lawrence is to Rick. Oh, very close to the back of that Mercedes there. If he's any closer, he might have been giving Lawrence a little push through that corner.
Let's see, where's he going to think of it?
Lawrence is already on thin ice with the Mercedes guys at the moment, so imagine if he was if he ended up off the road in the gravel there. Imagine Toto Wolff would be sacking him on the spot, as Matthias is still trying to hunt for a way past.
Yeah, currently all just stuck behind Rich, then Rich is going to be in this little cork in the bottle then, as they come down again, as in comes Rydell into the pits, out and he comes on a set of medium tyres.
Just having a little look at everyone's ERS, and Rich is sitting on around 20%, whereas Lawrence is on 35 compared to them both. To Matthias is on 97%, so Matthias is very smart with his ERS here. So if I was these guys, I'd be worrying as that ERS light is flashing on the McLaren, so Rich better start looking behind them shortly. It all depends on his run through here. It's not quite good enough. Lawrence is not quite good enough through that chicane to get any closer to Rich's McLaren. While Matthias just sits there preparing to make... Oh, that was a bit hot. Got on a bit hot there from Matthias.
I think that might be the signal.
I think that might be a signal to move on to the medium tyres.
Oh, we shall see. The key almost chopped in the pit lane. In comes Rich. Matthias as well, they're all in the pit. Then the key to 5-second time penalty.
Rich has knocked his front wing off. I thought he did. No, he's hit the advertising boards. He's hit one of the boards. I think he's hit the limiter board.
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Everything is awesome. Out comes Samba. He's in a nice position.
Serving a penalty in his good spot. Here comes Jonas. As Fatality picks up a 3-second penalty. Down in last place.
Kaya stays out. We sprays him in the
right
pits.
down all over the back of Indecisive here. Oh, that was a very tight squeeze on the outside there, and yes, he's got the move done. I thought he was going to have a little bit of an issue there, but nope. Indecisive was very polite and gave him room.
Jonas has spun out the pit lane. Jonas has dropped it on the exit of the pit lane, lighting the rear tyres up. The car's done a swapper, and I've seen that one somewhere before. I remember, was it Gerhard Berger did it once upon a time many years ago. You don't see it often, but there is a car dropping it on the exit of the pit lane. They're in racing speed. I imagine that's what's happened then, because you have to kink it out the pit lane ever so slightly. Samba is currently in second.
Is gaining on a Mr. Indecisive here. So we could have a possible move on there shortly.
I reckon Indecisive is going to be coming in the pit slow in the next 2 to 3 laps, so he'll be getting off those medium tyres. They're hopefully going to set a soft. Meanwhile, Lawrence, another time penalty. He's trying to stretch these tyres as long as he can go. So let's see what he can do as they carry on their merry way. And unfortunately for Fatality, he's really not having a good day, isn't he?
No, it appears to be a very bad day for the Mercedes guys, as Rich is still ever so carefully reeling in Indecisive here. He's not in a rush to reel him in because he knows he has got to stop, so he's just going to slowly bring him in and let Indecisive's worn tyres do the work for him. As we're waiting on any real action at the moment, as we might have it shortly, as I was going to say Kaya could have a move on, but
I think
Kaya
he's
is
got passed by
currently
Geckers, actually. That's why.
I believe Kaya has hit their ERS button and forgot to turn it off.
Yes,
it's on constant deploy, as Rich has found his way past Indecisive now.
Yes, he has found his way past Indecisive. Indecisive, I think, just thinking of his own race right now, knows right now that Rich is not in his game plan and he just needs to sit back, probably come into the pit then in the next couple of moments and get on a set of soft tyres and see what he can do at the next stage of this race. We are currently on lap 9 of 15, meaning we've only got, what, some 4 laps?
Indecisive round.
And there is Indecisive. Now I said take it nice and gently. Now what he's done is not listened to me, has he?
No, what he's done
he's
is
gone
the
again.
complete opposite and put the foot down and gone over a curb.
Yes.
And spun his car.
Now, I'm not going to say that was my fault, but it probably was me saying something.
I'm going to say that it was your fault because you put the commentator's curse on him here. A little bit of a curse on him. And it's continued on anyway. He's a brave soul.
There he is. I mean, what? Right down. A bit of a little bit of a snaky slide right there.
Is only 3.5 seconds behind Lawrence here.
He is absolutely flying. He knows right now he just needs to keep himself cool, keep himself nice and gentle. He's got a 7-second gap to the Q2 behind.
It's going to be an interesting battle between Lawrence and Matthias, or between Lawrence and Rich. It's going to be one of them guys he's going to be battling with for the rest of the race.
Well,
I'm very interested to find out, as Lawrence is now into the pits. Let's not have any murders of boards at the side of the track, please.
I mean, well, Kingan's had a bit of a mistake as well. He's hit the wall, I think, ever so slightly. The Mercedes comes out through his pit crew and runs half of them over, but that's all okay then. As out he comes, he's going to be out just in between Rydell and Richland. So, the pit lane not as short as you remember. It's been widened, so the speed limit in the pit lane is slightly more than it used to, so there's always that one. So he's back on his merry way, and off he goes in 4th position. Rydell in 3rd, Rich in 5th.
As Indecisive is now in. It appears Kaya has still not discovered the art of saving ERS and has still got their overtake button well and truly jammed on.
Wondering if that's glitched out for him.
Possibly.
I've
Unless
seen
they've had the engineer come over the radio and said, we've got a problem with the car.
we can't if we turn the ARS off, the car go boom.
Yes, if we turn the ARS off, the car explodes.
Oh well, you got a penalty as well to activate. It's probably because I don't know how that must feel horrible to drive.
As if Red Bull weren't struggling with engines enough in real life as well as Ferrari. We've now got one that has got their ERS stuck on full deploy. That's when their start of action is everyone is at least over 2.5 seconds away from each other.
Yeah, most certainly is. In Australia, of course, there's a little bit of action cooling off right now. We are just waiting for the last couple of guys to stop. Gecko's in 7th as we look at right now in the Haas.
If someone could bring out a safety car.
I don't think the safety car's on.
Such a shame. Going to say, we could have at least had one lap of chaos if the safety car was on. I say for Monaco we run simulation damage.
I think at Monaco we run it at night time. Full monsoon conditions.
We run Monaco at night time in full wet conditions and with simulation damage.
F47 with no assists.
Yes, and everyone has no assists as well.
And everyone has to be on the slicks.
And we see just how many people are capable of surviving.
Needed. I'll get hold of Nick after this.
Yeah.
Talking of issues, that is Jonas, who's had an issue, and he has dropped it, the same place where Sebastian Vettel dropped it not too long ago. Well, many long ago in Australia earlier this season. So it's one of those corners that I've seen a few people struggle on. It actually seems to be a very easy thing to do. Kingen, time penalty as well. No, well, Kai's doing a good job so far, isn't he? Despite him having no ERS.
Yeah, so they're doing a very good job of just holding the position, as now that there's nothing going on, you can just admire the beauty and whatnot of this new game. You can admire this new Australia circuit.
Yeah, indeed, if you're right on board then with Samba, and this is all the new section right here. It used to go and have a chicane right there, but now it is all nice and straight. I say that, Lawrence has dropped it into the wall. And Lawrence in big trouble. He's lost his front wing on the same curb that I mentioned earlier on. That's caught 1 or 2 people out. Well, there's another to the list, and Lawrence gets a 3-second time penalty to rub it into the wounds for the poor man who was down and out. But running board of Rich then through this corner, and this is the new
Toto
section.
Has
left the party.
Yes, Toto has probably just left the garage at this point. He's run out of discs to smash at this point. He's off to smash up the motorhome.
As you roll on board with Rich, and these are the other little corners that are slightly different. This corner down here widened and lengthened ever so slightly, so it's a bit more of an acute angle as well, which will always be good to see. Will it improve racing? I don't know.
So. It's more of an overtaking spot. This corner here has been widened as well.
Yeah.
Just before the last right-hander, as there's yellow flags again, and Kingen is out. What's happened there? What's happened to Kingen? Oh, Matthias is round. Matthias is round at the last corner.
Everything's going on.
We've got a race on finally between Chokers and Matthias. Here we go.
Here we go. Action. Now watch him spin immediately.
Yes, now he's just dropping further and further back. Use your ERS, Matthias. It will help you catch him. Use the overtake button.
Well, I'll tell you what, this has been a very good race for the Ferrari pairs, hasn't it? It's been Samba and it has been the key team, so at least 2 Ferrari-powered cars potentially on the top 7 of the podium here today. Rydell in 3rd, just about in 3rd, and then comes Rich in 4th, then comes Geckers in P5 right now then, and then of course, like you said, we've got Matthias following suit, then Kaya ahead of Jonas, who is catching Kaya at a rate of knots as well. Then comes Lawrence, indecisive, fatality, and then Kingen, who did have a fatality because he's out of the race.
We are starved of action at the moment, but it would appear Kaya's jammed on ERS has very much screwed him over. As yes, it's not going to go well when you've got a charging Williams in DRS range. It's not going to help at all. Matthias still hasn't discovered how to use his ERS.
He's going to use all of it on the last lap.
Yes.
He's got all 100% of it, Matthias.
Jonas is now past Kaya.
Yep, Jonas passes Kaya. Kaya is... Where is Kaya? There he is. He is having a bit of an issue. Lawrence, with his new front wing, is using the ERS. He's on soft tyres. Can he catch him? That's a possibility, as Indecisive has gone round, and Fatality should, potentially take that position to at least...
a battle for the final points being position. Don't say anything. This is going to end in tears now.
Then we've got a few people closing up. It's all getting a bit close then as we come on the last lap then of this race. Here we go then. Fatality versus Indecisively braking. He's going to send it then to the inside. The Mercedes versus the Alpine. Has he got the job done? Yes, he has.
Go past Kaya.
So 2 Mercedes pass both the other cars in the space of a second. Meanwhile, your leader on the last lap of this race.
Yes, as Samba is now just cruising around the circuit and is currently catching up to Fatality and Indecisive. Yellow flags. Matthias again.
He's having rotten luck, isn't he? He's pushed his tyres, he's overheated, now he's in the wall and now he's in 6th position. He had a shot on for 5th, potentially 4th, but there's 2 mistakes has cost him. Meanwhile, to your race leader, and it's Samba, who has got no ERS. He's used all of it and a bit more as he comes through then the last 3 corners on this circuit. And he has driven a superlative drive from last to first. He exits the last corner. He took the lead. He's very much stayed there. And in 1 lap, he did it. And every other 15, he's had nice and cool moments. Samba wins in Australia.
And here comes Lakitu.
Oh, right! That has had a massive off!
Oh, too bad Rich is too far back. Otherwise, that could have been a very costly mistake. But the Aston Martin does come home in 3rd.
Definitely damage isn't on full.
Yeah. As Rich now rams the final corner. And it is P4 for the McLaren, which is a very unusual place for that car to be.
Meanwhile, Gekka's in a position it's normally in right now, 5th. Across the line comes Gekka's, and that's a nice result for him. Matthias down, he'll be in 6th from Jonas in 7th. Loris, Kaya, Fatality, and then Indecisive rounding up the back of the grid.
Yeah, a decent result for the Alpines. A very happy boys at Williams scoring points.
Okay, damage is on. There we go, damage is on. Lawrence's front wheel's gone. How did Rydell not die?
I don't know. Lawrence has probably slammed it into the wall on purpose.
A terrible day for the Mercedes pairing then. 9th and 10th.
Well, we've had a very... obviously the light glitch over here.
It hasn't happened for me. It's still hope.
It flicked black very quickly and then...
No, we won't get it. It's fine. We are on 6 issues right now. I've noticed.
We didn't quite break the magic number.
No, we haven't hit 7. Which is good. I suppose. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Here we go. 7.
Here we go.
There we go.
We've got a light show on the podium.
Light show on the podium. Let's go. Light show on the podium, lads. And here we are then on the podium, under the lights then. And it's a disco then. The Ferrari on the tops of the podium. And the mechanics are in full. Look at them under the light show then. Today. And okay goes the champagne. This happens every couple of races for me. Hopefully you enjoy the light show as well. Here today, it's been absolutely incredible this afternoon, but it is the Ferrari for the 2nd time on the top step of that podium.
2 race wins in a row for Samba. Is there anyone out there who's willing to go and stop him?
Oh yeah, that's going to be interesting. We'll have to find out next week,
He
Luke.
has laid down the gauntlet over these past 2 races. Let us see next week when things get a bit more tricky.
Yes,
as we head off to Azerbaijan,
Monaco.
and then we head to the toughest track on the calendar, the Monaco Grand Prix. So that will be very, very fun watching people crash into walls over and over and over in Monaco.
Indeed, and before we head off, we'll go through our lovely sponsors one more time into Next Level Racing. Sponsoredly by providing prizes to Pure Sim Gear. Sponsoredly providing prizes. Sponsoredly providing a pair of their sim racing gloves to the driver, the most combined poles and fastest lap. And to Gamer Goose, sponsoredly providing Gamer Goose samples to the trophy winners. To our partners Vespertine, who support our championship prizes. To ERT, partner the ERT Go and Gets Tough Award and League trophies. And to the lovely guys and girls at SimGrid, powered by SimGrid, who of course run our season through their community and platform as well. But on that bombshell, on that very warm bombshell, might I say as well, I want to say thank you very much for Liam for joining me this week, and we will see. Hopefully, we might see you back next week as well.
It was my pleasure to join you this week, and it was very, very entertaining, and we've had a very interesting game. We've been serenaded by a light show to round off our stream for this week, and we'll be back to terrorise you again next week.
Yes, indeed.
So goodbye.
On that bombshell, I've been Evil. Liam's been Liam. I've also been Liam. There's too many Liams. There's 2 of us now.
Yes.
Oh, no. Until next time.
We're multiplying.
We're multiplying. Oh no, we're reproducing. Well, take care. See you next time.